Hello, and welcome to Plague Inc. If you've been following the channel recently, you might recall that I was playing some Flash games, like Oligarchy, Rebuild 2, and Learn to Fly. And there was one game that I actually ended up leaving off that list, and that was Pandemic 2. Now, Pandemic 2 was the spiritual precursor to Plague Inc., and I decided, you know what, let's give this infection game genre a little bit more of a chance. So we're playing probably the most well-known and easily the best polished of these types of games. A go now. So we are starting as a parasite, interestingly enough, the Gnasher worm, if you saw there on the opening screen. So that means our duty will be to stay as hidden as possible for as long as possible. Yeah, the parasitic lifestyle prevents the player from getting DNA points by infecting people. So infections, so increasing this number here normally gives you DNA points for any other kind of disease, but not for parasites. So we can only evolve using bubbles that pop up. So the orange bubbles or the red bubbles that pop up later once we start spreading to new countries. Huh. You know, I used to play this game a lot actually in secondary school, specifically in my 6th year of secondary school. I became very ill, was bedbound like, and I had a lot of free time to play this. I say the free time, I probably should have been studying, but you know, I ended up okay. I'm doing YouTube now, so obviously things worked out fine for me. Yeah, and I played a lot of that, and I actually ended up scripting a scenario for Plague Inc. I think I had it live on the Steam Workshop at some point, but I have no idea where it is now. But it was very much my first foray into, like, you know, doing any kind of game design. Like, I'd thought about it before, but that was the first time I'd ever really worked on it. After that, I actually decided to do a little bit of a game design with my younger brother in RPG Maker, I think it was. So I did writing and original compositions for that, and that was great. But then, like, I think he broke his computer or something, and like smashed to the hard drive. I think he like dropped his laptop or something weird. And we ended up losing the files because I didn't have a personal backup. So that was quite unfortunate. I hadn't gone back to game design since then, but I suppose when I came up with the name for this channel, Steel Jackal Games, the hope was that I'd always actually turn this into a bit of a studio. That's what I'd like to do. That's my dream. So, you know, if I ever get the chance to do that, that'll be lovely. I'd love to make something under that title. UK votes for Brexit in referendum. Voters in the UK vote to leave the EU. Remainers are concerned that this could severely damage the UK, but Leavers claim it will all be fine. Unclear when Brexit will actually happen. Brexit means Brexit, lads. Brexit means Brexit. Wow, we have built up a lot of points here, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure we don't have any symptoms, and I'm going to grab a little bit of symbiosis. When I say a little bit, I mean a lot of symbiosis. There we go. So we will pretty much never be noticed by any number of the symptoms we pop on. So let's just go for coughing, sneezing. As long as our severity doesn't show up here, we will not be infected at all. We also have to keep our lethality down though, which is important. Pneumonia, not ideal. We can go for cysts. They're pretty infectious. And abscesses are also quite infectious. Systemic infection, that's deadly. Tumors, inherently deadly. A rash, though, shouldn't be too bad. And sweating can be dangerous in cold countries, but increases infection rates due to poor hygiene. You know what? We'll leave it there for now. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. We'll see how that gets on. And we're also going to evolve a bit of water transmission, maybe 2 bits of water transmission, just so we can get out and about in the big open world a little bit faster. Lovely. So that's a lot of sweeping change there. But as long as we kept our severity down, like below that kind of mark of appearing on the screen, we'll be fine. We just get a huge boon to infectivity. But I still have the fact that people don't really know that it's actually our disease doing anything. Nobody knows about the Gnasher worm. So we've got the British Isles, we have Japan, we have a bunch of countries there. What is this? This is the Baltic states, yeah. Well, let's grab these guys here. This is not New Guinea. Indonesia's infected. Lovely. So yeah, as this as this parasite spreads, you're gonna see a lot of localization. But then eventually, once we hit areas with major ports in a big way, we're gonna see a lot of spread to the rest of the world, and the whole sea and the sky will light up with these little red streaks to reinforce where our infection's been. Quite interesting, actually. And as long as like nobody knows about our disease, you know, ultimately, what are they going to do about it? I am going to take a bit of medicinal resistance here, just to make sure we can progress a little bit more easily in these richer countries like the US and Canada. I find it interesting that there's no kind of, how would I say, approach to healthcare difference between the US and Canada. Because they have very different approaches to medical care for their citizens overall. I don't know, that just strikes me as odd, and I suppose with the recent epidemic, it's almost like highlighted the difference in approaches to medicine. In any event, we're left believing that the US is on equal medical footing with with Canada. Okay, and that's an infection in Mexico as well. We also got ourselves a bit of insect transmission for free, because we ended up taking a gene that allows us to get up into insect transmission. Now, this is kind of like the very, I suppose, classic approach to plaguing, where you stay under the radar, and you let your disease infect as many people as possible. And then when the time is right, you make your disease hyper-lethal. The faster you can kill them off, the better, because it means they won't be able to develop a cure for you. But in real life, diseases tend not... tumors. Okay, I was about to say in real life, diseases tend not to go that way. Yeah, let's take the lethality off there. No edge for you. Diseases tend not to mutate so rapidly, but the bigger issue is underlying conditions. So, lots of diseases, you might have sneezing on a particular disease, right? But the disease could be causing a lot more irritation of the throat lining than you're necessarily aware of at the time the disease comes out. So, you're going to have sore throats and everything, but it's not... How would I say this? Sneezing isn't the only issue. You do end up getting, sore throats, which can lead to further infections. But diseases typically don't evolve anything ridiculously dangerous as time goes on. You will have minor side effects like that related to the symptoms that a disease actively has. But I'm not aware anyway of diseases that are actively super spontaneous in terms of how dangerous they become. In any event, no nausea. Actually, we'll keep nausea. Nausea, you're allowed to stay. You are invited at the party. As long as we just need to get Canada, we need a bit more cold resistance than I think, because we really aren't hitting these northern countries as hard as I thought we would. In fairness, we're also missing out on a fair bit of Central Africa and West Africa at the moment. Angola's doing pretty well as well. East Africa, not so much. Heavy flooding in Zimbabwe. Heavy flooding has occurred in Zimbabwe. The analysts expect significant increase in disease due to crowded refugee camps. Oh, that's unfortunate. So I suppose I say that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate from my perspective as a human, but as a disease, that's ideal. Get people in cramped conditions, make them, I don't know, just rub each other with a spit in their hands. That'll be good. Okay, we're almost there. Heavy flooding in Colombia. You know what? This is what you get for climate change. You get unexpected increases in infectious diseases. Okay, we've gotten Greenland now. Greenland, Madagascar, and New Zealand have been taken care of. They're typically the trickiest regions to take care of in general, along with Cuba, I suppose. All right, we've almost got them. Based, by the way, primarily on their isolated locations. It's very, very difficult to get into those countries given their kind of geographical advantages. All right, so we almost have the bulk of the world infected, and once we do, we can take all the DNA points we've accrued here, and we can turn them into deadly, deadly symptoms. Angola is holding out surprisingly well. I have no idea why. It's only a matter of time, really. But you were so close to South Africa, and South Africa got infected quite early on. I don't know what made Angola so different. This road is still open. Everything's fine. Huh? Weird. Any more details with the cure? Not really. Cure requirement is definitely going up though. Research conducted, none of it. Lethality, still nice and low. That's good. We want to keep that nice and low. For a couple more minutes anyway. Because as soon as we have Angola happily infected, the better. Mystery still surrounds the decision to postpone the Rio Olympics. Organizers promise it will happen soon, but no reason has been given for the change. Well, I mean, these guys don't know about the disease yet. Or are they going to? No, their severity is still adequately low. They shouldn't. I don't know. Can they discover it? In any event, as soon as Angola is... I'm going to say sweating symptoms. What, is that going to give us away now? Nope, still no. We get sweating. Yeah, as soon as you're halfway infected, I am going to start tossing on these. These much deadlier afflictions. Coma, really hard to cure, and total organ failure. Yeah, let's get some lethality up there. Tumors too, because I don't know. Internal hemorrhaging. Hemorrhagic shock. Yeah. We've almost got everyone now. A new minor disease is spreading. I don't know, you can just imagine everyone just suddenly having a violent brain hemorrhage. A doctor in the Philippines found a new disease which has been named Nasher worm. It appears to be mostly harmless, but must be investigated further. Other countries are also reporting this disease. You know, it's really interesting. Like, this parasite would never actually want to develop these deadly symptoms. Primarily because of the fact that, like, you know, it would end up killing their hosts and then them. Like, parasites are inherently reliant on other species. Wait, please tell me... Okay, cool, there are no healthy people left in the world. I was worried I was just gonna out and out kill everyone, like, before I ended up finishing them down. Peru begins to break down, rather. Normal life in Peru is beginning to break down due to Nasher worm. Cure research is starting to slow. Yeah, they're not even really gonna get to 25%, I don't think. Yeah, we're just... Oh, people are getting wiped out. There are more dead people than alive at the moment. And Australia is leading the cure, but I mean, it won't do any good if you've got Nasher worm. Never mind, they got to 25%. Fair play to them. New Guinea's in anarchy. Yeah, only a couple 100,000 people left alive. Or a million people, rather. I can count, I promise. If they get to 30%, yeah, fair play. Yeah, that's it. Nasher worm to destroy humanity. Nasher worm has destroyed the world despite the world's best efforts. The last few humans know they're watching the end of history. Like, that's crazy, right? To see a disease wipe out everyone so fast. In any event, that's the Nasher worm's victory. Successfully eliminated all life on Earth. It did take a little bit of time, though. Like, it's possible to beat this game in a year, like 365 days. So, I don't know. If you'd be interested in seeing me try to beat the game a little bit faster, do comment down below. If you have any feedback, or if there's any other games you'd like me to play, let me know as well. Alright, thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care. Bye. Reconstruct teleport. Oh, yes. That is easily one of the best upgrades for a teleportation heavy build. Add a crew teleporter on the same station? Oh, guys, this is a blessed run right here. This looks like it's gonna be it. They resisted! Oh, thank God. Just go, just go, just go, just go. Jump. Next sector. That was too fucking dangerous.